If you're a business leader today, you're facing a huge challenge, right? How do you tap into the incredible power of AI without losing control? How do you innovate, but also manage the risk? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today. We're looking at a practical framework from a company called Beesender, designed to get that balance just right, blending AI efficiency with the human accountability your business depends on.
So here's our roadmap. We'll start with a hidden risk that comes with AI, something we're calling the AI paradox. Then we'll look at the human factor, which is often the weakest link. After that, we'll get into the solution, a framework for control. We'll see how to put it into practice. And finally, what this all means for the future of customer support.
All right, first up, we've got to wrap our heads around an idea that feels a little backwards, but it's absolutely crucial for any executive steering their company through this AI revolution. It's what we call the AI paradox.
So think about this for a second. As AI gets more accurate, does it also get more dangerous? I mean, it sounds wrong, doesn't it? We pour tons of resources into making our AI better and better. So how could that possibly make things riskier?
Well, here's the twist. The paradox isn't really a technology problem. It's a human one. You see, as an AI gets more reliable, our teams, naturally, they start to trust it more. They stop double-checking everything. It's just human nature. But then, when that 1 in a million error finally does happen, nobody's watching. And that's when a tiny mistake can spiral into a huge crisis for your brand. So, with that in mind, any smart AI strategy has to be built on 4, let's call them ground truths. First, AI isn't a choice anymore. It's inevitable. Second, if you're a brand that actually cares about your customers, you'll always need humans for the tough stuff. Third, and this one is so important, you cannot expect your frontline agents to be your AI police. And fourth, AI is going to make mistakes. It just will. And because of that paradox, the impact of those mistakes is only going to get bigger.
And that third point really brings us to the biggest vulnerability in most AI strategies I see out there today. It all comes down to the human factor.
This quote just hits the nail on the head. Think about it. We measure our support agents on speed, on how many tickets they close. Then we turn around and ask them to also be these meticulous AI auditors, analyzing every single AI-generated response. You're giving them conflicting goals. It's a model that's just not built to last. And here is the big takeaway for every leader listening. This isn't a training issue. It's not a personnel problem. It's a systemic flaw in the design. Any experienced executive knows you can't build a scalable, reliable enterprise system on a foundation that's fundamentally unpredictable. If you do, you're basically designing it to fail from the start.
Okay, so if we know we can't just rely on our people to catch every mistake in real time, what's the answer? The solution has to be more architectural. It needs to be a deliberate framework designed for the kind of control and predictability that large enterprises demand. Now, to build that control, we have to understand the 2 different types of systems we're dealing with. For years, our core business systems have been deterministic. They're rule-based, they're predictable. Think of your accounting software. The same input gives you the same output every time. But modern AI? It's probabilistic. It's more interpretive, kind of like getting advice from an expert consultant. Now, you need both, but you would never run your entire finance department purely on expert opinions. You need a solid foundation of predictable rules.
So, a responsible AI platform, one that a top manager can truly stand behind, has these key features. It's built to be AI independent, so you're never locked in with one vendor. Its core behavior is predictable, and it only uses that expert opinion AI where it really adds value. And this is critical. Every single thing the AI does is traceable. You have an audit trail. This is how you maintain stability while you innovate. All right, so that's the high-level strategy. It makes sense, right? But what does it actually look like in day-to-day operations? Let's get practical.
The whole thing works using a layered approach. First, there's an orchestration layer. Think of this as the manager. It looks at a conversation and decides if and how AI should get involved. Then, the communication layer actually carries out that decision. And then, and this is key, a totally separate audit layer comes in after the conversation is over to review performance. This separation of duties is just classic sound governance. It's what allows you to maintain control when you scale.
And what this system gives you is, essentially, a control dial for AI. You can turn it up or down, depending on the situation. For simple, repetitive questions, sure, let the AI handle it completely. For something more complex, maybe the AI generates a draft that the agent has to approve and send. For a really sensitive issue, you turn the AI off completely. It's human only. It's all about using the right tool for the job and giving you the power to make that call. So when you put all of this together, what's the end game? What does it all lead to? It leads to a future where you can actually scale your customer support with AI without sacrificing the single most important asset you have, your customers' trust. And that future is built on 4 pillars of accountability that are just non-negotiable. First, you've got to be transparent with customers that you're using AI. Second, the company, not the algorithm, is always accountable for what's said. Third, your customers have to have a clear and easy way to get to a person. And fourth, you must have feedback loops to monitor quality. These are the guardrails for growing responsibly. It really all boils down to this one simple but really powerful idea. Let the AI do what it's good at, answering the straightforward questions. That frees up your smart, talented people to do what they're best at, solving the hard problems. Now, it's worth noting that this entire framework we've been walking through was developed by Beesender. They're a customer communication platform, and they're built on top of a system called Creatio, which is a global leader in no-code enterprise automation. And that no-code foundation is really important because it's what gives businesses the power and flexibility to implement this kind of controlled, balanced approach at a true enterprise scale. So if you're looking to build a support model that really does combine the amazing efficiency of AI with the irreplaceable value of human accountability, well, the next step is pretty clear. You can learn more by visiting beesender.com.